welcome to my channel, Finding America. It's really awesome to see you here. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new, I really want to take this opportunity to thank you for coming and checking this out and watching this video. I'm coming to you from very deep in the Smoky Mountains, and I hope you enjoyed the previous footage of the Roaring Creek. It's right over the hill over here. And I was hoping to do some filming in front of it, but we had a lot of rain lately, and that creek is moving fast and it's pretty loud. So this week, I actually got a couple hunts in. I got a little bit of time during the week, and I decided to go over to a permission that I have, and thought I'd just do a little bit of swinging for a little while, and found some pretty cool things. And then Chris and I went on a hunt deep in the woods in search of old relics at a Civil War site, and we found some really cool things there too. So thank you again for stopping by, and I hope you enjoy this week's video on Finding America. So we had some really warm temperatures this week. If you remember the last video, we were -10 and I was filming snow scenes. This time I was almost able to hunt in shorts. So we're in the 60s, and I thought, you know, I just want to get out. I got a few hours, and I headed over to a permission that I have. It's a old Victorian, sits high up on a hill, and I got some hunting in, and I found some pretty cool things. Well, I am back at local Victorian home that I hunt off and on when I have the chance, and my very first signal was at 12:30, and you know, it's funny, it's such a common kind of item, but I just can't remember having ever dug one, and I have one now. It's a shoehorn, and kind of hoping it might be an advertising one. Maybe if I clean it up it might have something on it, but yeah, it's a little shoehorn, but I think that's the first in all the years I've been detecting. Very cool. Well, this is a pretty wild signal. I was got a 12-13, 13-13, and figured there might be a nickel down in here. Popped the plug, and the thing that was giving me the signal, I thought it was just foil, but if you look closely at it, it is very ornate. I have no idea what it is. It comes to a point down here, but it's some type of thin, very thin metal, like a foil almost. And it's kind of in the shape like a utensil handle, but as you can see, it's got a lot of intricate scroll work in it. I'm going to put that in my fragile container, clean that up. But what was even neater is also in the hole, I got the porcelain foot and leg to a porcelain doll, and a couple pieces, but that's pretty cool. Definitely a turn of the century doll, and so that's pretty cool. A little bonus find in the hole. Well, just about 12 inches over from where I got that doll leg and the foil piece, I dug up another piece of that foil or thin metal, very ornate. I will clean this one up too, and we'll see what the heck these things are. Well, I barely made it 3 feet further up the hill, got another signal and dug down, and this is a very cool spoon handle. Not iron this time. This one, I was hoping it was going to be monogrammed. Had some initials on it. But look at that. That is a beauty. We're talking 1800s here. Turn of the century. Very pretty. Very, very delicate. How thin it is. Wow. That is awesome. Too bad I couldn't find the bowl in this hole. But, very cool find. Let's see what else we get here. Well, I got something nice in the hole. I got a 1146, 1246, about 6-7 inches down. I dug down and I believe I have a silver quarter. Appears to be a Washington. I'm gonna get my spray out here, and oh, that's awesome. I am definitely happy with that. I might have. Oh yeah, that's nice. Let's see what we got. 1943. Funny thing is, I found a 43 quarter here the first time I came out to this place. So pretty cool. I don't have to worry about rubbing this one too much. There you go. We have a 43 Philadelphia silver quarter. All right, first good coin of the day. Well, I got a 1230, 1233, kind of bouncing around a little bit. It's kind of a big target, and I got this. I'm not quite sure what it is. Some kind of a bezel plate or a scutcheon, or I'm gonna take the brush to it, and very cool, very old, very Victorian. I like that. I'll get it cleaned up a little bit, and I will give you a look at it. Well, I just got something very cool. Got a 1226. It was down there a bit, about 6-7 inches. I just pried it loose, recognized what it was, and grabbed my camera. Haven't even cleaned it off or anything yet, but that is the entire top half of where the wick goes on an old lantern. It's got the adjusting wheel here. Very cool. I mean, it is pretty much all there. So I'm hoping there's going to be a date on that wheel. I'm going to wait until I get home and clean it. I don't really want to clean it out here in the field. I don't want to have it fall apart. I kind of like to see what it looks like once it's all cleaned and all together. But yeah, that's a great find. I like that one. So Chris and I talked about it, and this past Saturday we decided we wanted to go back into the woods. I think we were both itching just to get out in the woods and spend the day. So we went to an area where we have found some nice Confederate relics, and there's still 20 or 30 acres we never touched over there. So that's what we did. We went over there, and boy, it was a hard day. The woods were super thick in that area. It was pretty difficult hunting, but we did find some clear areas, and we found some really nice finds. Well, it's bright and early Sunday morning, and Chris is first on the board. He called me over. What do you got, buddy?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, well, I'd rather be detecting.
Yeah, it's first relic for today. Nice Spencer.
Wow, nice.
Normally they're all, well, you know, just stepped on and crushed.
Yep, horse didn't find that one.
Rimfire.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's a good sign.
Yeah, boy. Okay. That's a good way to start the day.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Looks like Chris has found a few more things. What'd you get there?
I think I'm on a campfire site or something. This is the third base I found. I had that
Spencer cartridge?
Spencer, yeah, I found the full one a little ways that way.
Yeah.
But I came over here. I hit this one first. I thought I had a button.
Yeah.
Another base, but this one it's still got gunpowder.
Yeah, and they haven't been fired.
Yeah, there's no fire marks, so I'm thinking they were using it to start a campfire. And
yeah,
I got this one here, about 2 feet over there. I got the other one.
I see over there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to buckle down and hit this area pretty hard, see what else we can get out of here.
Yeah, hopefully some lead or something.
What are they ringing up on your Equinox?
12 to 15.
All right.
Kind of.
And I checked with my Etrac too, so the guy's playing along with an Etrac. It rings up at about 12-17. Well, Chris and I are deep in some very, very thick woods. This is little Brer Rabbit country here.
I can barely fit between the trees.
And Chris called me over, so I headed over across the hill and
rang up like a zinc, but
wow.
It looks like it's got I haven't cleaned it yet. I think it's some kind of token.
All right, well, give it a wipe and see what we got. We haven't even looked at it yet.
Oh, it's chunky. Oh yeah, I see something coming through.
Yeah.
Is it a tax token? It looks like it says tax.
It could be.
Oh, boy, that thing is rough.
Yeah, it does have
Some
writing.
kind of mayor? I don't know. I'm gonna have to
We'll get it cleaned up and we'll come back and give you a better shot of this thing.
yeah.
It definitely is an interesting little piece. Well, we got it cleaned up, and Chris, yeah, boy, he scored. He got a, it's aluminum. It's a little rough right here, but it says good for 5 cents in trade. And from what we can make out so far, until we get it cleaned up a little bit more, I believe it says like Meyer or
Mayors.
yeah, it's like M-A-Y-E, and we're assuming R. It's got a star above and below the name, and a really cool border too. That is a cool piece. We're gonna have to see if we can find that on the token website.
It's the year of the tokens, man.
Hey, I'll take tokens any day.
Yeah, that's cool.
Awesome, dude. Very cool.
Thank you.
Well, this was kind of interesting. I wasn't even digging a really great target. I was just getting a solid iron tone, and wanted to see if there was a good iron relic down there. Once I dug the hole, I didn't get the target in the hole anymore, so I checked the dirt out here, and all of a sudden I had a real high conductive target. And now I know why. I got a really cool overall button, and this is, I've dug these before. It's got an archer on it, shooting an arrow. Let it get in there, and that's a Bowman overall button, and the reason I was only getting an iron signal was because most likely it was sitting face down, because they're iron back buttons, and it was nothing but iron. So I'm really glad I dug that iron target, because I got a really cool old button. These date from like the 20s and 30s, and I've always liked them with the archer on it. Pretty cool button. Well, it's just been a couple minutes since I last spoke to you. This is right where I got the Bowman button. I came over here about 12 inches over. This time I got an iron signal, but I heard a little conductive target in there. And I was starting to think, well, maybe it's another button, just like the last one. And sure enough, I dug down and got another Bowman button. So either someone took a tumble here and lost a couple buttons, or someone threw a Garmin out, or forgot his I don't know how he forgot his overalls. I'd like to see how he made it out of the woods without people staring at him. But I do have 2 Bowmans. We'll see if we find any more. Very cool find. Or finds, I should say. Well, Chris just came over to show me something he found. It was only ringing up, what, 3 you said?
3 on it.
And how deep was it?
I'd say at least 10 inches.
Wow. And
I don't know, but it's got a cool rope pattern around the edges.
yeah, let me put it over here. Get a little better look at it here. Yeah, that is a pretty cool rope border around the outside edge.
I can't tell what that would have been.
Well, I see little tabs here going around.
Yeah, I thought that's what those were.
So there was something held in place by those tabs. Could have been a brooch or
tin type.
yeah, it could have been a little picture frame, you know, a locket or something.
It's got the
That's
right
cool.
patina for war period.
Yeah, that's what we're after today. We're in a big Civil War area, and actually we're on the other side of the hill from the never-ending woods.
Yeah, yeah.
About a mile, about a mile away. So that's a great piece, man. I really like that.
That's neat.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you.
Well, a little out of breath. Chris and I have been going about half a mile through this thicket, and found a little clear spot in the woods, and I saw Chris stop, and I kept on charging through the sticker and briars, but Yeah, glad he stopped. He found something good, huh?
Look at it.
Oh, let me get down here.
Oh, my precious.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what we were looking for.
It rang up so high, man. I wonder if something else is in there with it.
I hope so. That looks like a Gardner, huh?
It does. Looks like the same kind we pulled out. Well, I don't know how far that was.
We were heading back over to where we got the Gardners and the Babe Ruth pin back in the video Bullets and Bambino.
Nice.
And if you missed that video, you definitely want to go back and check that one out. There's some really good finds in that one. Go ahead and pull it, man. Let's see what you got.
Oh, man, that thing, looks like I nicked her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Gardner.
Check out the bottom.
Yeah,
oh, yeah,
another Gardner.
Definitely Gardner.
Sweet.
Nice. Well, Confederate bullet, buddy.
Yeah, nice drop again.
Yeah, we found 2 Gardners just over this ridge, so it's nice to know that there's some over on this side. So,
oh yeah, look at that.
Heck yeah, nice drop.
Double lines. I'm gonna recheck that.
Yeah, definitely.
That was ringing so high.
Well, dude, you're doing awesome today.
Yeah, it's working.
Cool
Better
deal.
than last week.
Oh, well. No, you did pretty good last week. I kind of like that at-rest finial.
Yeah, that was different.
Well, I found something pretty interesting. Had to call Chris over here and had to move this log out of the way. It was right under the log, but it was an iron sound, but every once in a while I get a high tone. And it looks like I have some sort of a pin. If you can see it there. But, yeah, it's old though. So on the back side you can see the pin straight across.
It's a cool shape.
Yeah, it's like it looks like a hexagon, a 6-sided, whatever that is.
Yeah.
No, it might be octagon. It is octagon. Here, I'm gonna let Chris film this while I brush it.
Let's see.
Alright. Just hold it there. Okay.
Very delicate.
Yeah.
Look at that.
It's definitely a pretty fancy pen. Do the other side.
It's gonna be a lattice.
No. Hope it says Wives of the Confederates.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy.
I don't know what that was.
That's probably the person that lost it, haunting the woods. Oh, look at the picture on that thing. Not picture, but that's a cool.
Oh my gosh, look at the opening.
Yeah.
Holy moly. That is really cool. Definitely 1800s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's cool, it still has the pin.
Yep, and pretty fragile piece, so we're going to stick it in the old crayon box.
There it is.
Yep, the trusty crayon box. So, very cool piece. So, well, Chris is just tearing it up today. He called me over and he got looks like a 36 cal. Little pistol ball.
It's not perfectly round, but it is a ball.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But white.
Yeah, that's a nice piece right there.
Yeah.
Good. Well, congrats. A little pistol ball for you.
I'll put it with the Gardner.
There you go. Okay. Well, Chris called me over and I can already see what I got. What'd you get there, man?
I kind of wiped there looking for a number already, but a big old hem weight.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that might be like 6 ounce there. Now this is actually a little bit big for a lady's dress. Sometimes these are cape weights.
Cape or drapes? I don't know why there'd be drapes out here, but
yeah, a lot of times, I mean, this could be war period, you know, for a cape weight. As it's most of them aren't this heavy, so, but that's a heck of a good find.
That's big.
Well, Chris called me over. Get over here and see what he dug up.
Looks like another Confederate projectile.
Man, I can see it from here. Lord. It certainly is.
Sweet.
Get a little in situ here.
Got a wide base on it.
Yep, I'm gonna go ahead and pluck it, alright? Oh yeah.
Some luck rubs off on you.
Yeah, I need to find one of these. Well, as you can see, Chris and I had a great time that day. Chris did most of the finding. I did most of the filming on that second part in the woods. But I don't mind. Everyone's gonna have their day. Everyone's gonna have an off day. But Chris was definitely having a non-day that day. Now I want to give you a little heads up. Whatever you do, don't miss the next video on Finding America. We should have that one out next Thursday, and trust me, it's not one you want to miss. So I want to thank you again for stopping by, and I cannot wait to see you again on my channel, Finding America.